we will get through the uncertainty of a new administration in Washington. As I said, we've done this before. We've been to this. And
isn't necessarily the best place to start. In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is.
You condemn white supremacy. And he fumbled around, didn't say anything. I said, how about the Proud Boys? And he said, well,
Ronald Reagan was 2 months into his presidency when John Hinckley Jr. blew a $20 million.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
I want to take this message to talk to your viewers real quick about the story, the conversation we need to have now. The BOP is wasting lots of tax dollars in frivolous spending,
And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Rising. I am the host, Barry Ramey, with my co-host today, Enrique Tario. How you doing today, man?
Barry, I'm doing great, and I'm happy. This is the first time we're in the studio where we have 4 guests.
Well, at least 4 that we want to have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The last one broke this screen over here.
Yeah.
This screen right here, I managed to aggravate the person in the middle of the interview.
Right.
And they slammed the mic on it and then walked away and then never paid for it.
And blamed you.
And blamed me for it.
Right. That was a good episode.
I mean, if you want to say a good episode, not for me.
Well, one magically reappeared, so that's a good thing, for that.
All right. So who do we have here today?
We have a very interesting and special guest today to tell her story. And before I really get into that, did you ever think in your lifetime that we as adults or American citizens would have to debate what the difference between a man and a woman is, or a boy or a girl? Like,
in my time doing this, right? And I've been doing this for quite a long time. That wasn't in the purview, right? Like, you just talked about just like regular stuff, like, I don't know, the budget, how much money we're spending on things. Like, you didn't think that this culture was going to jump into like the political realm, and you never thought that the culture would go in that direction either. So yeah, it's brand new.
And what bothers me is that somehow society has managed to drag children into this conversation and not allow them to just be children.
Yeah.
And we see that a lot with sports, women's sports, men's sports. It's my humble opinion that feminism through the 60s really just wanted equal pay for women and voting rights and stuff like that. And I don't think that I think that empowering women in sports was also part of that. But now you seem to have this dichotomy of feminists that want to degrade women's sports by allowing and supporting genetic men posing as women to compete with ladies. And I think that's a serious issue. But then you have another side of it.
Isn't that counter to like the feminist movement? It's counterproductive to, like, women should be praised for like their actions, but then like a man comes in, pretend she's a woman, pretend he's a woman. Like even that slip up tells you something. But
I'm judging you.
Yeah, I know you are. But it throws back, and you know what? It is a problem, but we've had a mental health issue in this country for such a long time that it's it's just in that category. Is the mental health issue probably growing? Yeah. But like regular sane people, working class people, people that aren't political, right? People that aren't in the political sphere, it's pretty simple. You just ask them and they say no.
Right. And we are currently living in a time where we have a serving Supreme Court justice that can't tell you what a woman is. But I do know somebody that does have a perspective of competition and sports and men and competing as women, and women that want to actually compete against men to further their competition. And we have one in the studio with us. And without any further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage Zoe. Zoe, how are you doing today? Good. And I'm glad you're here. You are a inspiring little young individual. You are fastly becoming a professional jiu-jitsu competitor. This is something that you love and you want to do with your life. Am I correct?
Yes.
What brings you to jiu-jitsu? Why did you choose jiu-jitsu as a sport for you?
I don't know, but it's been fun for me.
How? Oh, you're doing good. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
6 years.
6 years, and you're 11 years old now. How many competitions have you won?
A lot. I don't even know how much, but a lot.
That's a good kind of problem to have.
Do you travel to do this?
Yeah.
What states have you been in? That's pretty impressive, actually.
Portland, Oklahoma, Dallas. Where else?
Atlanta, Vegas.
And who's this gentleman next to you?
My dad.
Oh, your dad. Your dad. What's your name?
My name's David.
David. He's got to be proud.
Oh yeah, man.
Because like she didn't just knock off like one state. Like I'm 11. I went to like Portland. She's like Portland, blah 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 blah, and like she's like I can't remember.
And David, you're a former you're a veteran. You're Marine Corps, once a Marine, always a Marine. So thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And this is your daughter. How do you feel about her competing in jiu-jitsu, just as the sport as a whole? Like when you're out there and you're on the sidelines seeing her compete and fight, what's going through your mind as a father?
At the beginning, it was a lot of nerves. Like, am I really sending my daughter out there to fight? At the beginning, it was mostly against boys, voluntarily, because there was no girls that competed around here. So the first few tournaments were against boys, where she did great. She didn't win at first, but took it in stride, kept wanting to compete, kept having to go against boys. As she progressed into the different, I guess, federations that she would compete in, the competition field opened up more, and there's more girls now where she can compete, obviously, against the girls. And if she wants to, she can step into the boys brackets, which she's done a few times and has done pretty good. She won silver out in Vegas against the boys last year. And it's been a while since she's gone against boys. She also wrestles, and that's 99%, 100% against the boys, where, I mean, they just pick her up, toss her around, she gets back up and keeps going.
That's awesome. So let me real quick. So this started off with you. It was because there wasn't enough girls in your division, so you had to fight boys in order to keep your rank and to move up further in the ranking in jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So it wasn't something that you originally signed up for. You just had to do it because there wasn't enough girls to compete. Okay, that's pretty fascinating.
So, but I have a question, and this question's for Dad. So she started when she was 5.
Started when she was 4.
4.
Yeah.
So
after she turned 4.
So what made you say, you know what? Instead of putting her in like Girl Scouts or something like that, I'm gonna put her in like a combat sport.
Well, when I'll go back before that, when me and my wife found out she was pregnant, at first I didn't care if it was a boy, girl, but then I thought to myself, man, it'd be something super cool to have a daughter who could hang and be a difference maker, not just be your regular run-of-the-mill girl where, oh, she's pretty, she must play with Barbies and this and that.
Yeah.
I wanted to daughter who hopefully could grow up, be a lot like her mom. I mean, her mom is amazing. Don't know where I'd be without her mom. She's strong, hard-headed. I definitely wouldn't mess with her. She did jujitsu for a little bit, but if she follows in, her mom's footprints and footsteps and keeps her head down and continues, I'm gonna have that daughter either way. I'm proud of her. She trains 4 to 5 hours a day, sometimes 5 days a week, 6 days a week, travels, A's and B's at school.
Oh, wow.
So I guess I got what I wanted. Sometimes it's a little bit more than I can handle, but
I think
hey.
I think you're right about that.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Zoe.
So Zoe,
You're welcome.
now let me ask you something, Zoe, because I don't remember. Like I'm 40, right? I don't remember, and I'm undercutting it a little bit. I don't remember much. I remember things in spurts when I was 4 or 5, and I know this happens to a lot of us. Do you remember when you started?
No, not really.
No.
No.
What was your first like memory when you started doing this?
Where I would always be partnered up with boys, and there would be like 2 girls in the whole class, and there was a lot of people out of them. So all I remember was sparring with the boys and practicing with them.
Okay, but you were you were in elementary school, not like almost not even when you started, but yeah, you were in elementary school when you started, right?
No, I don't know.
4.
No,
wasn't
she
even
was in
kindergarten.
VPK, I think.
Yeah, well, when she started, but when she started having the memories of these things, you started it. So, what do you love about the sport?
That you get to try new moves, and then like you get to practice with friends. Like you have friends at school, but the friends at jiu-jitsu, they help you get better and push you to reach your goals.
And to be better.
Yeah.
Do you think that the boys offer more of a challenge because they're a little stronger?
Yeah, they do.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody doesn't really understand jiu-jitsu, it's a grappling technique that uses fulcrum points in the body to induce a submission, to make someone surrender.
Yeah.
So technically, you make somebody choose to quit the fight because you have them in your full control.
Is that how jiu-jitsu works? Zoe,
Yeah.
like I didn't know that. I was really bad at sports when I was a kid, in all of them. Like my mom put me in soccer, and I lasted like 2 or 3 days because I didn't figure out that there was positions to play. I would just run across the field and chase the ball like a little dog. So I was never good at it. So jiu-jitsu, you have to make your opponent submit. No, that is like the end. It's not like a scoring.
There is a scoring.
Okay.
In the federation I fight in, there's 4 minutes in total. The 2 minutes are points where you can submit them if you wanted to or control them. And with the last 2 minutes left, you can score points or you can also submit them.
Oh, wow.
What's your favorite submission?
A Kimura, I would say.
Kimura. And what does that look like? If you were to get your opponent in a Kimura, what exactly is happening there?
Like your arm is going to be bent like an L, and then I'm going to wrap my arm. One's going to go around the arm, and the other one's going to connect to the other arm like a grip, like to grab your wrist and like and you bring it back to their back.
So if they do not tap out, what's going to happen to their arm?
Their arm is probably going to break, or something will happen to their shoulder.
The rotator cuffs. And that's the sport. And you don't have a problem with that because you're playing to win, correct?
Correct.
So if you compete against a boy, you don't care if he has a problem fighting a girl. If he's fighting against you, you're going to break his arm if he doesn't tap, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, that sums that up pretty easily.
I think if I were to get into the sport, and my chick does Muay Thai, right? She goes every day religiously. She definitely could put me in a submission hold or kick me.
Muay Thai striking.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Listen, I'm just trying to downplay it a little bit here. She's about 6'2",
Okay.
but she's in there, and what I do see is like that fellowship, right? The fellowship, because it's the same thing. She goes to the Muay Thai gym, and she has to fight men, which doesn't make me feel too good about it, because like I'm like, what do you mean you're sparring with? So, but it is impressive because she will get them and knock them on the ground.
Yeah.
So it is impressive that I didn't know that about jiu-jitsu, that it has to, it's a submission.
Oh yeah, I mean, think about it. The guys like you and I, we grew up in you know, ruffians in the street.
Yeah.
We've all been in fist fights, and if you get knocked out from a punch, that sucks. But you have no control over it. You bobbed when you should have weaved, and you took the hit and you fell out. With jiu-jitsu, it's almost, especially if you're a guy, because I mean, we're ego-driven creatures. Can you imagine having a girl that you're physically stronger, you're faster, maybe even a little smarter, I don't know, but she wraps you up and gets your arm, you're conscious, and now you're in so much pain that you have to give up and you have to tap, but you're still conscious.
Yeah, so I don't.
That is humiliating.
This is where I was going with it. If I were ever to go into jiu-jitsu, I think my pride would get in the way. I'll be like, all right, go ahead, break my arm.
Yeah,
break my arm. I'm not quitting.
And that's what's going to happen.
I'll have like my arm on the ground, and I'll be like, all right, I haven't lost yet.
Zoe, let me ask you something. You respect your sport. You love your sport, and I got the privilege to come see you compete one day, and you were very passionate. You were emotionally attached to this sport, the outcome. You wanted to win, and you were going in there to win. And my question to you is, you see the situation happening in society where genetic men, boys that are born men, they are pretending to be girls and they're competing as girls. What is your opinion about that scenario, and why is it different from you who wants to fight a boy?
Yes, it's hard for the girls always when they fight boys. If you're little or you're an adult, it's going to be hard because they're going to be stronger, maybe faster. But it's not going to be fair to the girls because they're planning on to fight a boy, but they're not planning on to fight a boy that's pretending to be a girl.
So you know that what you're getting into, and you're aware of it, and it's not fair for a girl that thinks they're fighting a girl that wants to fight a girl, and they're being sold this idea that this is a girl. It's a big difference from you who chooses to fight a boy.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. How many boys have you competed with, in tournaments in jiu-jitsu? Do you know off the top of your head?
No.
No? It's been a lot?
Yeah.
So, and do you know how many times you have won the match?
With boys?
Yes.
Not a lot, but a few times I went against them.
And so have you ever lost to a boy and then had to fight him again?
No, I don't think so.
Would you?
Yeah, I would.
And so if a boy
look at her
beats you,
face light up.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you lost the match to a boy and he beat you once, you'd want to fight him again to get that rematch.
Yes.
In a true competitor spirit.
Yeah.
All right. So, David, let me ask you a question. What do you have anything? What goes through your mind when she's competing against a boy? Do you look at it any different? Do you take it as a different kind of match than a girl, or how? Talk me through that.
When it comes to her competing, I just take it. She's got to go out there and do her job. I mean, she's trained countless hours a day, years on end. She knows what she needs to do. When it comes to the boys, of course, I'm a little bit more hesitant. She's never had to go out there without her wanting to be out there to match up against boy, girl, whoever it may be on the mat. She's got a job to do when she's out there, and win or lose, I'm proud of her. I mean, like I said, going back to when we found out she was pregnant, I wanted a daughter who could beat the boys.
You got one.
I have a son who he's 2 years old, and I know it's going to happen, but it's going to be a humbling experience when, he gets his rear end handed to him by a girl like his sister. And, the world needs, needs strong women. They want to be treated equally. They work just as hard as the boys. She puts in, I don't know how she does it. I'm 46 in December, and I don't know how she trains the way she does and maintains the grades she does, but boys, girls, she's got a job to do, and 90% of the time she does it.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this that, and I understand the sentiment, how they would assume, oh, well, you're probably pushing her really hard. I personally know you and your wife and your family, and I can vouch that is not the case. This girl wants to compete in jiu-jitsu. This is what you want to do.
I mean,
Joe.
look at the smile on her face every time you talk about it. She's like,
yeah.
she's got the cheese face on.
You love your sport and you want to be the best at it. Do you have any plans of going into mixed martial arts and doing full striking later in your career, or are you going to keep it jiu-jitsu?
When I grow up, I want to be a UFC fighter, and I also want to be good at jiu-jitsu, like winning a lot of titles at a lot of federations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you want for yourself. Your parents never really pushed you to this. They just supported you, correct?
Correct.
That's awesome. That is amazing. So let me ask you this, Zoe. What would you say to the parents of boys pretending to be girls competing in girl sports? Would you say anything? What do you think about their parents?
That I would say stop pretending for your kid, boy, to stop acting like a girl and pretending they're a girl. Just put them in the boys bracket, or you can put them in the girls bracket. Just don't have them act and pretend to be a girl.
So here's another thing. Like I'm not privy to this. So I guess this is a question for you guys. Is this an ongoing issue at that age bracket? Like, does it happen at that age bracket? I'm not going to say issue, but
I mean, not that I'm aware of, but I mean, you only know what you know. I mean,
yeah,
who knows? Especially in today's day and age. I mean,
because it is a societal issue, and we do see people like. Are you guys familiar with Riley Gaines?
Yeah.
So Riley Gaines is big on this. It's like her central issue, and the way that she comes about it is in the real form of feminism. Like women are women. Mm-hmm. Men are men. And if there's like a co-ed competition, there's no problem with that. Like I would love to see like some like co-ed sports, right? And in some cases there are some sports that have it, and that's not an issue. You got me? That's just men competing against women or whatnot. But like if you have a women's division and like you're bringing men to compete in women's division, then that's where the numbers get skewered. Yeah. And they get funky. But just to back on the topic, like Zoe, this is so great. Barry had told me about this, and I'm like, what do you mean she's 11 and she's been in this sport for this many years? I'm like, and that's why one of my first questions to you guys was, do you guys travel to do this? Because that usually means that there's some proficiency in there. It's not just like, oh, I go after school and I do this. There is some proficiency there. There is like, there is a passion. There's also, and like, like you said, like people say, oh, do you go hard on them? Like in a way, yes, you do have to go hard on them because that's how you establish that, you gotta go ahead and be a parent, right? So, and that's where you create that passion for Zoe, and that's why she has it. So,
yeah, I mean, definitely her parents, they're involved and they're active in her life, but there's a distinction between Zoe and John Benet Ramsey, whatever their parents were pushing her through, a lot of see the pageant parents.
Yeah.
The way that, I mean, it's borderline child abuse. Yeah. And that is not what's going on here. Zoe she loves this sport. I mean, when I got to go see her compete, this kid was, I mean, she was in there to win, and it was quite the sight. So now if you were told that you had to fight a boy that was pretending to be a girl, David, this question is for you too. How would you address that situation?
I would like to do it and prove to the boys that go fight in the boys bracket where like you belong, and where the girls fight the girls and the boys fight the boys.
You kind of like put them in the submission in the what's that hold called?
Kimura.
You put them in the Kimura and be like, go play with the boys.
Yeah. I'm not going to encourage this because I don't want to ever see you get disqualified. But like that would be one scenario where like you may have not felt the tap, You know,
Yeah. that
So-
happens.
She's and I'm sorry to cut in here, but she's like, just show me my opponent. Like,
Yeah.
just whoever's on the
Yeah.
mat. I don't care who it
you hear that, Dana White?
is.
Yes.
You might have Dana White watching this show.
I hope.
But go ahead, give your opinion on. I don't know if you have to ask the question. but-
Well, David, I mean, that was a brilliant answer, but David, what would you say to that?
I mean, again, every match is left up to her. You wanna
So if
you wanna match up against her, then she's gonna bring it. Whether you're boy, girl, girl pretending to be a boy pretending to be a girl, or whoever. I don't think she's ever turned down a match that has been thrown in front of us, and hope that she won't, because we always tell her there's no losing. It's you either win or you learn. You know, it's the way life is. You can't really lose. You just figure out your mistake and fix it and come back better. And if it ain't better the next time around, you got to work harder. And I always tell her, don't let anybody outwork you.
And there's where, you presented the question to her, and she's like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah.
So to her, it's the passion for the sport, right? And then there's a bunch of people that want to damage that just to prove their point. Like, I don't know why it's like the world has to. You have to like shape the world and be like, oh, this is what I believe in. Here you go. You have to like push it in there, because there's so many people that are like Zoe that are passionate about the sport, and like they're bringing the politics into the sport, right? Because before this, there was no argument, right? It was women's sports, men's sports, and that's it. So it's them forcing that, and we've seen it in the Olympics, we've seen it everywhere. It's just not, it's not right.
Yeah, David, did you get a chance to see that situation that just happened? I think it was the past Olympics in France, right? The boxer that was posing as a woman. There was a male that fought in the boxing, and it actually did some serious damage.
It was at France, right?
France, yeah.
Isn't it the husband of the prime minister of France, the French president?
I think it actually has a lot
I'm
of
sorry. I had to throw
potential.
that in there.
We're gonna have to. We'll ask Candace Owens. Apparently, she
Bridget
knows.
Macron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Candace is getting sued by her, so she has.
I'm trying to get sued by her too.
This is great. Yeah, I mean, we'll just keep it going, because eventually, I think before the War Boy Studios ends, we're gonna get sued by everybody. So, we welcome all lawsuits.
They can't sue an idea.
Well, if they want to keep suing us, I'm going to have Zoe go handle our lightweight for us. We got War Boy Studios security guard.
We'll send Zoe over. We'll be like, hey, there you go.
You ever had your rotator cuff broken by an 11-year-old? Hold my beer. So going forward in your sport, Zoe, where do you see yourself going? Are you going to you're trying to get to nationals right now as we speak, right?
Yes.
And what does that look like? If you were to win nationals, what does that do for you?
I would love to win nationals, and thank you for donating money to everybody that has donated. I would love to win, and if I win the nationals, I can go to trials a few months after, and I would be invited to ADCC Worlds, where they have it every 2 years. So it's going to be in 2026, or hopefully I'll be there and I'll win.
That is awesome. And just do a side note, if people see scrolling on the bottom of the screen, you can help Zoe get to the nationals by donating to Venmo at Glenda Soares. You see it at the bottom scrolling there. Please take the time to send her a little bit of love, and let's get this kid to nationals.
Yeah. So, and it's like a direct cause, right? You're not donating to the Wounded Warrior Project, where like 20%, like this money goes straight to Zoe.
Yeah.
Like every cent. And like when you put in, you see the results. So like if you guys go ahead and you put in $400, you know that you paid for the flights.
Yeah.
You know what you're putting in. But even if you could put in like $10, $15, but I encourage you guys to give those triple digits, because each one of those triple digits is a trip Zoe could take. And then later on, when Dana White calls you and puts you on the screen and you're fighting in the UFC,
Yeah,
like you guys that are watching can be like, hey, you know what? I helped put her there.
Yeah. And we'll be in the audience because then we're going to be like, hey, we want you, now that you're rich and famous, you can give us all the money back. So.
Yeah. And then you'll have Donald Trump in the audience too.
Hopefully, she says, wow, this kid is being raised right. I don't just call me crazy. So David, what did you ever think that she would take it as seriously as she did? I mean, she's 11 years old and she's more enthusiastic about this than most people competing at a professional level at 21.
Honestly, when it was first brought up to us from a friend of mine, I just asked him, what can I get her into? He's like, jiu-jitsu. And then week after, she was 4 years old. In a week, she started. She wanted to compete. Her first tournament, she lost. Asked her if she wanted to do it again. She lost. Kept wanting to do it. Went to a different location, kept training, kept getting better at a different one now. She still got it in her. Did I ever think I'd be traveling the country for this? Absolutely not. I thought, hey, it's jiu-jitsu. It's an inside sport. I don't have to sit outside, get eaten by mosquitoes. And, I had no clue about any of this 6 years ago. Had no idea that there was tournaments nationally. I had no idea that my daughter would be ranked 6th in the country for her age, 9 and 10-year-old, and 36 overall, from 17 down to 8, 9-year-old girls in the country. So it's been fun. I've seen more states in the past 4 years than I did in the 42 previous, and it's all because of her.
I actually did not know how substantially she was ranked. That is incredible. That is awesome. So it's number 6 in the state.
No, 6 in the country.
6 in the country. Wow, Zoe, that is incredible. Are you proud of yourself?
Yes.
You are? Good.
Yeah.
You should be. You definitely should be.
Thank you.
That is really awesome. And so in order to do that, you have no choice. You have to fight. She pretty much has to fight boys to get that ranking.
Yes.
That is incredible. That is incredible. Wow. 6th in the whole state. I mean, the country. Sorry, country. Sorry,
country.
I stripped twice. I
put
stripped
him
this
in
child.
Put him in the chokehold.
Proper ranking. Yeah, this is how you teach people lessons. Well, we do have a philosophy here in the Warboy Studio that violence does solve problems. So
obviously it does, and it also makes for great passions and life choices.
Absolutely.
Fight sports are amazing to me because I remember when I was younger, right? The UFC had just started, and like right before that, the only thing was like the blood sport, like the Thailand and things like that, and it wasn't here. Like all you had was like violence. I mean, violence. All you had was boxing, right?
Yeah.
So you had boxing, and UFC hit the airwaves, and it became like this sensation, and it's only grown more and more and more and more to the point where like I meet people and everybody has something to do with a fight sport. Everybody, everybody's tuning into it. Everybody, like I have 2 of my friends, right? Like personal friends outside of politics from middle school, and we have them over for barbecue all the time. And it's impossible to talk to them because they got their phone and they're like tuned in to like the latest fight, so it's such a big sport. And the fact that you're 6th in the country in that sport is impressive. And I'm also happy that you're a Florida resident. So you're repping the best state in the union on this.
Yeah. I will say that, when you just pointed out the UFC and it coming into fruition back then, that was Royce Gracie that really made it come to light. Because back then when it started, they didn't have weight classes. People represented their technique and put it on full display. And Royce showed the world that you didn't need muscles and strength and crazy boxing and striking skills to win a fight. And he was taking on guys with 200 pounds over him. And that's, I think, what's unique about jiu-jitsu. is because if you are a very big, strong person, that could actually get you into trouble against somebody like Zoe, that knows how to fight off her back and knows how to use her limbs to trap your limbs and, well, break them. Have you ever injured somebody?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's because they tap in time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them. That's smart. So moving forward, you're trying to go to nationals. You're raising the money to get there, and you've got a whole career ahead of you. What's the next step for you?
I want to ask something about the nationals thing. So the next event that you guys are going to is a national.
Yeah.
How much money do you need to raise for that?
I don't know. You
Dad?
can ask him.
We have a fundraiser goal set to 2,500.
I think we could help get to that.
I think so too.
All right, I think we might be able to get up there. I got a way that we can promote it. But if you're watching this, please, we're trying to help her get to nationals, and we're trying to be famous. We gotta when she walks in, we want to walk in behind her.
Oh, Warboy Studio on her fight shorts, right there on the side.
Yeah. So, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just thought of it, and I'm like, wait, it's coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah. No, she's getting
Yeah, and don't mean to cut in.
No, go ahead.
All the money raised, I mean, it's 100% hers. I told her you can go for a day and be done. You can stay in a nice hotel room if you want, but it's yours. I'm not touching it. It's for you, for your trips, for your tournaments. So spend wisely and make these people proud.
Maybe we can live there.
There you go.
at the jiu-jitsu tournament. That's dedication.
Vegas.
In Vegas. Wow. Okay.
I hate Vegas. I just came from Vegas last week.
Well, but you understand that she's not seeing Vegas for.
She's not seeing Vegas.
It's the MMA training hub of the country.
Well, I go to Vegas, and it's a crappy place for me because like I don't bet. I'm like the worst person. Like I don't want to put money in the machine because I know I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
So it's like hot, but for tournaments and stuff like that, yeah, that's where I guess I see the point.
I think Randy Couture still has his training facility out there. There's a lot of big MMA schools out there.
Yeah.
So that just shows you that like our minds are tainted, and she's just a pure child that wants to
it's
compete
like-
in jiu-jitsu. That's the way we see Vegas.
About a flight to Vegas, I was like, oh god.
So going forward, Zoe, what is your Instagram? Share your Instagram list. Where can people follow you?
Zoe Szura Jiu-Jitsu.
Right there at the bottom, you see it scrolling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Zoe, I got another question for you, more outside of the fight sports. Do you have any other hobbies?
No.
No.
I like to draw a lot.
You play video games?
No.
She draws jiu-jitsu players, and she only plays jiu-jitsu video games.
I like to play the old Nintendo and the boxing game.
Oh, you're kind of like Barry in that respect.
Mike Tyson.
You
punch
asked,
up?
Yeah.
you asked Barry if he's ever played video games, and he like says some random video game from like the 90s that nobody ever.
Jurassic Park. On
Jurassic
Sega-
Park.
Sega
I can't even
Genesis.
remember that. But that, and then just on a serious note about that, that's one of the reasons I ask is most people, you walked into the studio and we hung out a little bit before we started this podcast, right? And like the first thing I noticed, I'm like, she doesn't have a phone in her hand. She's not like glued to the phone,
She actually left it in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kid does that?
And like that's why I asked the video game thing, because maybe she left it in the car, but like I'm like, okay, well, maybe she plays video games. And she's like, no. She's like, sometimes I like playing Nintendo. So she's not like sitting there Fortnite. She's not like in tune. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a good thing.
No, that's a great thing.
That's awesome. So you said Nintendo, the boxing game. Is
here
that,
we
is
go.
that Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Listen, he's
What
trying
game
to.
is it?
Yeah, it's Mike Tyson's.
Yeah.
Zoe, I'm
The
telling
best game ever.
I'm going to tell you what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to make himself look cool. He's like, oh well, you know what? I play the same games
Yeah.
because I'm a gamer myself, and I play out like a lot of the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's right now what he's trying to do is he can be like, oh, I play old stuff too.
That's half true. That's half true. I was half doing that. But
Everything's a dig. Everything's a dig.
yeah. That's how we get down the War Boy Studios. But you like playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out? Is it because it's a fight game, or is it just the game itself?
Game itself.
Do
Hard
you-
to play. I like it.
So did you ever? Because I think
It's
they
very
took,
hard.
They took Mike Tyson out of it, didn't they? After
No.
that? Yeah, they did. They changed it to just Punch Out, and the end guy was Mr. Dream in the recreation.
Yeah, and the recreate. Well, yeah, probably, but that's might be like a licensing thing.
Mm-mm. So fun. There's 2 separate versions of that game. There was one with Mike Tyson, and then Mike Tyson got into some issues in the 90s, and they changed it to just Punch Out.
Oh, I
And
get
they
it.
took his character out at the end of the game.
I get it. But it's a very difficult game.
Yeah.
It's retardedly difficult.
Well, there's the algorithm. I remember King Hippo. That one's the belly punch, right? You just wait till he opens his mouth and keep hitting him in the belly. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I think this is cool. This is actually one of the coolest interviews I've done because it's different, right? Like
Yeah.
we're used to like doing like the politics. We're used to like doing that, and like we don't come out of the space. So Zoe, I got to thank you for taking us out of the space to get into like your world, Zoe's world.
If there was anything else you want people to know about you and your career and, anything about you at all, what would you tell them?
That I just want to win and get to my goals and hopefully reach them one day. And thank you for having me and donating all the money that I need to get to nationals.
That's awesome.
We're gonna help you get there.
What would you say to other girls that may be thinking about becoming into jiu-jitsu or boxing or other sports? You have any advice for them?
That you can do it. You just have to have the mindset that I want to go learn boxing or jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to do. You could do gymnastics, but you want to have the right mindset to win and hopefully reach your goals one day.
So basically, if you're a lazy person, don't waste your time because it takes a lot of hard work to do what you do, huh?
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah. Amen. And Dad, like this has actually been an amazing experience. You raise them right.
I have good help. That's all I can say.
Shout out to
I didn't
Glenda.
do this by myself at all.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I could tell when you were talking about Glenda. Glenda's your mom.
Yeah, my wife Glenda.
All right. Yeah. As soon as you were talking about Glenda, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Glenda does this," and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, mom." So, is she your daddy's girl? Is that like a?
Yeah. Mostly dad.
He's elbowing her. He's like, "You better."
She's definitely a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
She gets on my nerves, but
Yeah.
do anything for her 1,000 times over.
That's great, man.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when you have a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
And you have 2 parents that love their children, that are involved, and these are the results that you get. You get well-rounded, great kids.
So look, I'm on a personal experience thing. My parents divorced very early. I was
Me too.
I was probably like 5 or 6, but like they were both parents, right? They didn't get in an argument and they're like, "Oh no, you have them," blah blah blah. I would just jump around from house to house, and my dad would have me on the weekends. My mom would have me on some weekends, and I'd go to my grandfather's. So like I had the 2-parent home, even though they were separate, but it was a 2-parent home for a while. So like it's important to have both parents involved. And I think it statistically, you see better homes, better children, and then better adults eventually come from 2-parent homes.
Yeah, I think that statistically speaking, most boys that disguise themselves as women and compete in girls' sports probably came from a single parent.
I didn't even know you could disguise, but I've
It's a
seen
terrible
it.
disguise.
Yeah.
But so going forward, everybody, you see Zoe's Instagram down here. Go ahead and give her a follow. Share her stuff. See her videos. It's all jiu-jitsu based. I think we add a couple of her videos at the end of this.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll throw some up there so you guys can check it out. And this is the foundation of America. This is when they say it takes a village. These are the types of stories that we want to celebrate and talk about, and highlight in our society, because this is what it looks like, not only when parenting is done right, But when children are allowed to be children, when children are allowed to compete and they're shown these sports and they're shown what it's like to win and lose and not given a participation trophy, what you have is the result is an 11-year-old girl that's number 6 in the entire country in her sport. So it's something to consider.
Yeah. And Zoe, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Again, like I can't say how amazing like this is, because it's I was expecting one thing, we get another, number 6 in the country, traveled all over the country to do so. I mean,
and she went to Portland and won, which we, any time you get to
we went to Portland too for a fight. It was kind of like a fight sport for us.
We have a lot of history of fighting in Portland. So
yeah. And I'm not. So obviously I said that I haven't picked up a fight sport, but like I used to do it when I had a problem with a friend of mine. We put gloves on, right. So we had a lot of backyard brawls. I mean, never anything professional, but I put them in submissions all the time.
Backyard brawls is that a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually a underground cultural Miami thing. We have like a backyard brawling organization down here. Shout out to Kimbo Slice. Rest in peace, brother.
I feel like that was a little bit of a dig, just a little bit. Cuban thing. You guys fight all the time.
A little bit.
All right.
Some roosters running around everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the American Rising. Our guest today, Zoe, we are very happy that you are here. We are looking forward to following your career and seeing where it goes. And it's very clear that you have the foundation in the making to become a champion. And so we are expecting that.
And we should give her the closing statements here.
Absolutely.
So Zoe, close out the show for us. Tell everybody goodbye. Tell them where to follow you and tell them where to donate.
Donate on Glenda Zero on Venmo in the, I don't know how to say
in
it.
The bottom. Just say in the bottom.
The bottom. And thank you for having me on the show today. And thank you to the people that have donated. And my Instagram page is Zoe Zero Jiu-Jitsu.
All right. And with that, we are gone.
We will get through the uncertainty of a new administration in Washington. As I said, we've done this before. We've been to this. And
isn't necessarily the best place to start. In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is.
You condemn white supremacy. And he fuddled around, didn't say anything. I said, how about the Proud Boys? And he said, well,
Ronald Reagan was 2 months into his presidency when John Hinckley Jr. blew a $20 million.
about blowing up the White House.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
I want to take this message to talk to your viewers real quick about the story and the conversation we need to have now. The BOP is wasting lots of tax dollars in frivolous spending